Most people think attraction is loud. They imagine it's about standing out in a crowd, being the funniest, the most talkative, or the one with the flashiest presence. But in reality, the most magnetic kind of attraction is often silent. It doesn't scream for attention, it quietly commands it. You've probably noticed this before. Someone walks into a room without saying a word, and yet, people turn their heads. They're not showing off. They're not chasing attention, and still, their presence speaks volumes. This is the essence of Stoic attraction. The Stoics remind us that true power never needs to announce itself. It is calm, composed, steady, qualities that people feel without being told. And when you embody these qualities, you don't just become noticeable, you become memorable. Now, let's explore 11 silent habits that make you socially attractive, not because you're trying too hard, but because you live in alignment with timeless principles of self-control, presence, and dignity. These aren't tricks, they're habits, things you cultivate daily until they become part of who you are. And when they do, people can't help but be drawn to you. The first habit is measured silence. In conversations, most people rush to speak, to prove they're interesting, to fill every gap in the dialogue. But when you pause, when you listen more than you talk, you create a sense of weight in your words. People start to notice that when you speak, it matters. Your silence builds anticipation, and anticipation is powerful. The second habit is controlled body language. You don't fidget. You don't twitch nervously. You don't constantly check your phone. Instead, you hold your posture with quiet strength. Your movements are deliberate, calm, and unhurried. This subtle discipline shows others that you are in control of yourself, and anyone who can govern himself immediately earns respect. And the third habit is non-reactivity. When others try to provoke, tease, or get a rise out of you, you don't bite. You stay calm, unshaken, even amused. This is magnetic because it shows emotional stability. In a world where people are constantly reacting, the one who remains grounded stands out as rare. These first 3 habits are already powerful because they shift your presence from noise to signal. People don't just see you, they feel you. And that feeling is where silent attraction begins. The fourth habit is making eye contact without intimidation. Most people either avoid it altogether or overdo it in a way that feels aggressive. The Stoic way is balanced. You look directly at people when they speak, with calm focus, not trying to dominate, but not shying away either. This communicates confidence without arrogance, and it makes people feel acknowledged, which is quietly powerful. The fifth habit is emotional steadiness. Imagine this. Everyone else gets carried away by gossip, by drama, by bursts of excitement and sudden anger. But you're consistent. Your emotional tone doesn't swing wildly depending on circumstances. People begin to lean on you unconsciously because they sense stability in your presence. This is not just attractive, it's comforting. The sixth habit is controlled speech. The Stoics believe that words should serve meaning, not vanity. You don't need to be the loudest, nor do you need to talk endlessly. Instead, when you do speak, your words carry thought, clarity, and purpose. People remember the man who speaks less but says more. And in a noisy world, brevity becomes magnetic. The seventh habit is respectful detachment. This doesn't mean coldness. It means you don't cling. You give people space to be who they are without trying to control or possess them. You interact with warmth, but without neediness. Others feel free around you, and paradoxically, this freedom makes them want to stay near you. And the eighth habit is presence without self-promotion. You're not constantly talking about your achievements, your goals, or your importance. Instead, your life shows it. Your actions, your discipline, your demeanor quietly communicate that you are a man of substance, and people trust what they can observe far more than what they're told. Each of these habits works silently because they bypass words and go straight to energy. They don't demand attention, but they earn it. People sense something different, even if they can't explain it. And that mystery, that quiet strength, is what keeps them intrigued. The 9th habit is self-discipline that shows without being spoken of. You don't need to tell people you train, read, or work on your goals. They notice it in your energy, in your physique, in the way you carry yourself. Quiet consistency is more attractive than loud declarations. People are drawn to the man who clearly lives by standards because they know discipline builds trust. The 10th habit is comfort in solitude. Many are terrified of being alone, so they cling to crowds, noise, or constant validation. But the Stoic understands that solitude is where strength is forged. When others see that you are content with your own company, it signals independence. It shows that you don't need the approval of the crowd, and that makes people curious about you. And finally, the 11th habit is dignified composure under pressure. Life will test you, delays, insults, failures, disappointments. Most people complain, react, or crumble. But when you remain composed, when you handle adversity without bitterness, people feel it. It inspires respect because it shows that your inner foundation is unshakable. That's silent attraction in its purest form. Notice that none of these habits require you to chase, brag, or put on an act. They are not tricks. They are practices. They're the result of daily discipline, quiet self-control, and living by principles instead of impulses. And because so few people cultivate them, they stand out immediately. When you embody these 11 silent habits, you don't need to try to be attractive. You simply are. You don't have to demand attention. Attention finds you. You don't have to force people to notice. Your presence speaks long before you say a word. That is the Stoic way of attraction. To be so rooted in yourself that your silence is louder than other people's noise. At the heart of it, silent attraction isn't about tricks, strategies, or playing hard to get. It's about becoming the kind of person whose presence naturally speaks louder than words. When you practice these 11 habits, measured silence, controlled body language, non-reactivity, balanced eye contact, emotional steadiness, purposeful speech, respectful detachment, quiet presence, visible discipline, comfort in solitude, and composure under pressure, you build an energy that doesn't just capture attention, it commands respect. The truth is, people are starving for stability in a world of noise and constant distraction. They don't just want someone who entertains them. They want someone they can trust, someone who is consistent, someone who radiates strength without needing to announce it. That's why the Stoic path is so powerful. It strips away the unnecessary and leaves you with something timeless, dignity.